The phone you are holding right now is 33,000 times faster than the finest computer that sent the first man to the moon. 180 years ago, surgeons never used anesthesia to operate on injured soldiers. Today, we have robotic surgery. 120 years ago, most of us traveled by carriages pulled by horses. But today, we can't imagine life without our modern transportation system. Looking back, we all get to see how far we've come, how advanced our civilization has become. However, with all these advances in technology, lifestyle, and healthcare, there is still one question that we can't truly answer. Are we happy? On paper, it seems like we should be. But are we? The pursuit of happiness has long been a golden question. We have a society defining what happiness should look and feel like. And yet, we still feel empty, unsatisfied, and discontented. But is happiness really what we are seeking? Or is it fulfillment? As Hassan Akmal in his TED Talk said, happiness is external, based on what happens. Fulfillment is internal. We all want success, and we all want fulfillment. But it is not the same. Fulfillment is much deeper, more meaningful. Society conditions us that if we achieve all that we want in life, then we become happy. This pursuit of perfection will go on for eons, and the end of the road won't be in sight. But the truth is, happiness doesn't come from a perfect life. In Japan, there is a practice of repairing broken pots using golden lacquer, called kintsugi. You don't throw away broken pots. Instead, you fix them. You're not hiding what happened. Instead, you make the pot stronger to hold itself together, but also showing the healing process, making it more unique and beautiful. Kintsugi reminds us that our scars, wounds, shortcomings, and imperfections makes us uniquely beautiful. It also reminds us that our vulnerabilities and brokenness, once healed, become part of our new strength and resilience. Connecting the dots. Sometimes we stop and ask ourselves, am I doing meaningful work in this life? Then we get this sense of existential crisis. Then we try to hide them away with work and mundane pleasures. But how do we find the answer to such a complex question? The answer is, we don't. Instead, we find the missing pieces and connect the dots, which will lead us to our quest to finding meaning. Who you are, what you believe in, and what you do. When you can connect your life and your work view in a coherent way, you start to experience your life as a meaningful journey. This is a constant journey of self-discovery, and it is not an overnight event. So never despair. Enjoy the journey. Gratitude. We have all heard and read about gratefulness and being thankful. But we can never experience the power of gratitude, not until we hit rock bottom. Until all we can cherish are the small blessings we have left. But it doesn't have to be that dramatic. We can always start now. In a piece of paper or a journal, write down what you are thankful for. You could start with 5 things every day. This simple exercise helps refocus your mind, helping you focus on what is uplifting and positive instead of the negative. When you operate on the premise of being grateful every day, you tend to appreciate life more. You tend to do things more with enthusiasm and meaning. Always remember The life you have now is the life you once wished you had. Some people can't afford the same house you live in, or your simple luxuries. The job you so hate is the dream job of someone else in this world. Being grateful is not surrendering and conforming to the path of least resistance. Frankly, it is the opposite. You get to cherish the most important thing in this world, your existence and your time. Money talks. We have all heard this saying, money is the root of all evil. But is it so? See, money is just a means of exchange of value. Nothing more, nothing less. You go to a job, exchange your time and work for money. And in turn, your salary pays for the food that nourishes you and your home that shelters you. It's true, money doesn't buy happiness, but it will make you comfortable, open doors, create opportunities, and make the good things in your life even better. It may even save your life or the life of a loved one. Friends, money is like a hammer. You can use it to build a house, or you could use it to harm someone. It's not the tool that is good or evil. Rather, it is the person's intent for using it. So never limit yourself to the idea that having money is a bad thing. The concept of happiness. Yuval Harari, in his book *Sapiens*, said, "So perhaps happiness is synchronizing one's personal delusions of meaning with the prevailing collective delusions. As long as my personal narrative is in line with the narratives of the people around me, I can convince myself that my life is meaningful and find happiness in that conviction." See, 50 years ago, an average person is 10 times happier living a simple life. Even though he lives in a hut with average meals, average clothing, no entertainment, and no smartphone. But you, me, all of us today, we can have a hearty breakfast, a whole rotisserie chicken for lunch, and a filet mignon for dinner. Drive in a nice car, get paid well enough to go on vacation 4 times a year. And yet, we are still finding ourselves unhappy. This is why many of us are so unhappy nowadays. Because our definition of happiness and fulfillment is in line with the size of the community we live in. And with the rise of social media, our community has expanded. Through various communication platforms, we have countless ways to compare ourselves with others. This gives rise to our fear of missing out, the feeling of inadequacy, and even social anxiety. Start with gratitude in the morning. Reflecting on your blessings fosters a positive outlook and a healthy mind. Practicing gratefulness can also ease the stresses of daily life. You can cultivate gratitude by journaling, making a list of 5 things you love about yourself every day, or by practicing meditation. Do social media detox regularly. Pick a day every 2 weeks, or even every week. Take that day off to free your mind and do something more meaningful. Take the time to focus on your personal growth. Perhaps learn a new skill, read a book, or start a new hobby. Look forward. Continue to ask yourself what you would want to accomplish in 5, 10, or 30 years. Set up goals for your personal life, career, and your future. Keep in mind, however, that there is nothing more constant in this world than change. So be ready to be flexible with your goals and plans. But whatever the case, be true to yourself. Stick with what gives you purpose and what gives your life meaning. Live within, or better yet, below your means. Financial wellness is just as important as physical and mental well-being. According to a 2019 study from the American Institute of Stress, 62% of Americans feel stressed about money on a regular basis. Being in control of your finances gives you a sense of security for your financial freedom and future. You could start off with budgeting your monthly expenses, prioritizing to pay off debt, and read more about ways to take control of your finances. With financial well-being, your perspective on things will change, and you get to cherish everything you have and what you do, because you are no longer shackled by your endless debts or crippled with the fear of losing your job or your business. Embrace life. Life is like learning how to ride a bike. You will need to fall down and get your knees bruised before learning how to balance yourself. It is okay to not be okay sometimes. With failure, heartbreak, and tears comes an opportunity for personal reflection and fresh perspectives. Never be fooled by the facade of a perfect life. There is no perfect life, only a life worth living. James Oppenheimer said, "A foolish man seeks happiness in the distance. The wise grow it under his feet." Happiness, you see, is always within our grasp. Being happy is a matter of perspective. Every day, life gives us choices between optimism or pessimism, faith or fear, hope or despair. It is our choices that leads us to happiness and fulfillment. However, as Irma Bombeck once said, there is a thin line that separates laughter and pain, comedy and tragedy, humor and hurt. So in your search for happiness and fulfillment, always remember that it's not always going to be easy. So choose to be positive even when things seem to be falling apart. Face your fears and let your faith help you overcome them. Today, grieve and despair for what you have lost, your failures, your heartbreaks, but never lose hope for a better tomorrow. True happiness can be found in the journey, the grind, not the destination. So, never give up.
When you dream, do you see beautiful rays of light shimmering, guiding you through the night? I know it feels like the night's getting longer and light is harder to find. I promise I'll always be there. I'll remind you when you close your eyes. If they send for me tomorrow, even if I leave right now, you'll find comfort there in knowing whenever in doubt, you can find me when the lights turn out. When the lights turn out.